Hi there guys, and welcome to Dragon Age Inquisition, the Trespasser DLC, and perhaps the final video. Outlaw Dolphin here, and we're not far off from the end. One more video, this last one. Hastings Trevelyan has uncovered that the Untarm, a sect of the Qunari army and headed by the Vidasala, is attempting to strengthen the Veil. Now, after everything that's happened to Thedas over the last 2 years, is not, strengthening the Veil doesn't really seem like a bad thing to do. Except the Vidasala is going about it all the wrong way by being the very tip of a blade. The thought of invasion worries many in Orlais and Ferelden, not to mention that already in the Inquisition. There is a third party at play, an agent of Fen Haral. We already know Methal exists, maybe he does too. Let us finish this. Well, here we go, and dusk has befallen Haram Sharal. We're here to enter the crossroads for one last time, one last attempt. This time entering the Darvarad, the stronghold of which the Untarm have been using to head their operations. We finally have a keystone to enter, and enter we shall. Hastings believes he is on the brink of death. His mark is getting out worse and worse, causing him a lot of pain. He fears dying while Thedas still needs him. So he heads a suicide mission, or that he believes, to end the Vidasala and this Qunari invasion. Iron Ball. We take only our best and brightest here. Dorian. And coal. Now with the keystone, the alluvion in the centre that was closed off is now open.
No matter what happens, it has been my honor to fight beside each of you.
We helped, all of us. I won't forget.
Enjoy me while you can. I expect you'll all miss me terribly later.
It's been an honor to kick asses beside you all. Anna.
Well, this is the Darvarad. And it's quite the fortress. With plenty of smashed alluvions, they've been using many and attempting and had many failures. There are many little tricks that the Qunari have here. Many items of interest that we will talk about as we find, and a few things that we will not expect. Let's just hope that this goes well. There's going to be plenty of resistance, make no doubt of that. What we've got here is Cerebus. Blimey, these Cerebas are very powerful. I have no way of stopping them from doing that. Cerebas down. Awesome, and there's Veil Fire here. Of all places, why would it be here? Best keep this torch with us. Eluvian Studies. The writing on these pages is completely incomprehensible. Even to the native speaker of Kunlat, the handwriting resembles the scratches of an inebriated chicken. But the drawings are meticulous, an excruciatingly careful study of several Eluvians, along with exploded diagrams of their inner workings. So not only were they destroying them, they were perhaps making them too? To repair them, maybe? That's interesting. There's an Eluvian active over there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
We should hurry. Here they come!
Aegis. These javelin throwers are very unforgiving.
Whatever's going on in here, I know we don't have the whole story. It can't be as bad as it seems. My contacts would have said something. If an invasion were coming, I'd know about it.
I do think you do know about it, Iron Ball. Jesus. I do think it's as bad.
They've got guards on watch. Not sure if we can sneak by.
I want to see what's in that tower first. Someone keep Dorian standing. He's over there. Ouch. Some of these Kunari are even bigger than Iron Ball himself. That is something I thought would have been hard to achieve indeed. Where did I drop? Where did I drop the torch? Or did it despawn? Well, we need to find a way inside. That gate that we just fought at the base at has a puzzle. I blew this up. That's why it's glowing red. And this door is locked.
That's quite the door.
The Belt of Retaliation. When the wearer of this belt is attacked, some damage is reflected. And a gatehouse key. And that is indeed some gate. I want to get in here first. There are a few points of interest in here that I would like to see. Here we have another gatehouse key, so you can either grab a gatehouse key from this desk, or the gatehouse key from the one that the enemy drops. Serath. This letter was clearly written a few lines at a time over the course of multiple days, as the ink at the start has already faded slightly. Elf who is Talis. It is no longer my role to instruct others in the Qun, but I will share that what I can with you if it brings you peace. You are not alone in your struggles to achieve mastery of yourself and your purpose. Many Vidathari come to the Qun filled with fear and anger. These feelings build walls brick by brick. Within the self, they prevent you from seeing the others around you, from seeing the world as it is, and they convince you that you are alone and in darkness, that you must fend for yourselves. The walls are real, but the darkness and the solitude, the world that they create within the self, that is all an illusion. You must work to tear down the walls if you wish to see the truth. And the truth is this: no one is alone. It was the wisdom revealed to Koslan in the desert long ago. What looks like solitude is connectedness. What looks like darkness is only the space between stars. This portion of the letter is slightly newer, and the handwriting, which was exceptionally tidy at first, has become somewhat looser, as if written in a hurry. And it is not just Vidathari who struggle with these illusions. The world changes the self, and we must balance mastery upon its turning tides. Once I was an Ashkari, and I spent my days examining the philosophy of the Qun and trying to seek the enlightenment that Koslan found. But my dreams of demons took me down a new path. Here the writing is filled with crossed out passages, and the script becomes shaky. Some of the ink is still wet. And now with the song, liquid, crossed out. And now I study the dam which holds back the magic at its source. It is our purpose to things change, little Talis. The world changes, find purpose in people around you, and your role will be clear. Remember when. It will be hard to find wisdom in the noise. The noise is an illusion, like the darkness, but the walls are real. Remember that. Tear down the walls first, and you will see the truth. Serath. That was clearly a mixed up individual towards the end.
Red lyrium. Do the Qunari have any idea what they're dealing with?
The song is different, but the pieces fit together.
Ah. Sounds like the person who was here was suffering from the red lyrium sickness. Scrap of writing from Ben Hasraf agent. Excavated mural believed to be a self-portrait of Fen Harao. If not of the self, it is still a portrait nevertheless.
Didn't work.
Ancient writing. One sees the hunter, one flees from it, one hunts in turn, and one outwits them all. There's something puzzling here.
Didn't work. Didn't work.
There's something going on with these braziers. Go down the ladder.
Is that an astrarium? How did the Qunari move it here? And one of those weird keys you can only find with a tranquil skull.
They've been moving a lot of stuff down here. There you go. So this brazier has kept alight. Maybe there is an order to them. They must be here for a reason.
It didn't work.
Nope. But I think if there was an order, I think I found it. No doubt I have to light the first one again, yes? Go down the ladder. Okay, so it goes. That must be an owl of sorts. I can't remember who that represents. They are elven statues. That much is clear, but I think what's up here references Mythal and Gillenan. I think Mythal is something we light last. Now, what did that do? I have not a clue what that did. I heard a noise. That was it. Oh, hello. It opened the lockbox. The Bloody Bargain is a unique dagger. Rampage on kill and movement attack speed increases by 10. For 30 seconds stacks up to 5 times. Interesting. If you're a rogue, that could be very interesting. Now let's tackle the very unique looking gate. Logs of the Darvarad. Logs of a Darvarad Gatekeeper. The entries in this book are written in several different hands and occasionally even different languages. From the few entries in common tongue, it appears to be a log filled by various guards who have watched over the gates at the Darvarad. In the morning, artifacts brought to the Hisra Kith, original location not on manifest, asked Iskara, was told they are from ruins. Please remind agents that all relics must be properly catalogued or the Tarbus will never stop complaining about it. 3 Kiths deployed, including Iskari and Hisra Kith, told her to write down locations of her manifest this time. Hisra Kith reported back. Iskara handed me manifest that just said outside Darvarad, asking my sten for a knife. Okie dokie. This is a bit of a puzzle gate. We need to try and get...
The other thing. Oh, sorry. I'm not good with things that don't have feelings.
There we go.
Let's go.
A full-on raid through the front door. Here we are in the Darvarad barracks. Hello! That did the trick. We force one to flee down the stairs, we open the door, causes a slight pincer movement. Written instructions for new workers. While some of this letter is written in Kunlat, most of it is common tongue. The letters are blocky and simple but tidy. The Dragon's Breath must continue, regardless of concerns at the Winter Palace. Many are new to the Qun and have not yet learned to trust. Your worry is understandable. The rest of the world has betrayed you. All who have been to the Darvarad know the difficulty of maintaining the specimen for extraction for as long as we have. If we delayed Dragon's Breath, we would have to dispose of the specimen. Creating Gatlock is normally a slow process requiring much mining and careful alchemy. Venom extraction offers the only means to deliver the Dragon's Breath quickly and in large quantities. The delay of Dragon's Breath is to lose any chance of bringing peace to the south without needless suffering. The Qun demands we save the workers of the south from a bloody war and deliver them into our teaching before corruption further overtakes the land. Others have voiced concern over the specimen. The Qun does not demand cruelty to living being, but all creatures have a place and a duty under the Qun. The specimen serves as it must. When Dragon's Breath is complete, it will be extinguished quickly and painlessly, as when we slaughter animals for food. Allow your superiors to deal with the agents of Fen'Harau, and remember your role in the service to the Qun. Sounds like they are having dissent within rank. Oh, there are many, many here.
Sounded bad. Hold on a little longer.
We could craft weapons here if one needed to. Letters and replies. A letter with an Inquisition seal sits half buried in a pile of memos. The Honourable Salasari, Triumvirate of the Qun. On behalf of the Inquisition, I must humbly inquire as to the hostile actions of your agents in Halam Sharal. The Iron Ball has consulted his immediate superiors and contacts within the Ben Hasraf to no avail. It was our understanding that the Inquisition and the Kunari nation were allies. Why, then, are our people being attacked by Ben Hasraf agents? And why have we found Kunari Gatlock hidden around the Exalted Council? If your illustrious personages can offer an explanation, we would be glad to hear it. If not, we must consider these to be acts of war. Respectfully, Ambassador Josephine Montillier. Several incomprehensible messages in Kunlat follow. A letter written in common in elegant script has been torn open and crumbled into a ball, but the writing is still legible. To Ambassador Josephine Montillier of the Inquisition, the Salasari have no knowledge of any operations occurring in Halam Sharal. and are investigating your claims of Gatlock being used in the south. We regret that we are unable to divulge any information regarding current Ben Hasraf activities at this time, but we hasten to assure you that our partnership with the Inquisition is one we value highly. Well, someone didn't think so. And lots of studies into Elven artifact here. Dragon Skull, and one more entry. Dragon Breath Plan. These documents appear to be written entirely in Kunlat, but contain numbers of complicated diagrams, including detailed blueprints of Halam Shiral and a number of other palaces and fortresses.
There's no pain, just lots of ideas. I'm not the right kind of spirit for this.
Morrigan said the key to an Illuvian could be anything, including knowledge or power. So they're stockpiling both. That's how they got the keystone and opened so many of the Illuvians we've seen. Hopefully they don't have any more ancient magic crap to throw at us. That dragon skull would make a wicked armchair, though. Maybe we could take it back to Skyhold after this.
Whatever you say, Bull. Do we need that supply cache? Yes, we do. There's another one. You could combine the two, Bull. Okay, guys. So walking in here, what is about to happen will be very painful, and in some cases very difficult to understand. But do bear with me.
Dragon's breath is an actual dragon?
Tethar! Bars!
Inquisition! Nira Tasiasara! Nirava Sadim Kata! Hisrat now! Please! Venekatas!
Understood, ma'am. Change of plans. Nothing personal. Boss.
This was what I was waiting for. This is what I knew was coming, based on decisions, or a simple decision that we made a few videos ago. We're gonna just not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do that. There we go. So the Iron Bull has betrayed us, and this is something that should not shock us. Where is he? This is something that comes as a result of choosing the Qun over Bull's charges. If we had chosen for Bull to... need to blow that up. And Hisrad, Iron Bull is dead. Had we chosen for the Bull's charges to retreat their position, then this would not have happened. But I do need to pick up Dorian. Cole will not be able to hold himself up for long. And we are now without a tank. Yep. There goes Cole. We have to fight Cerebas. One-on-one. Come on, Cole. Where'd you go? There he is. down goes the Cerebus.
So, the Iron Bull. Trust a Canary and see where it gets you.
I didn't feel it. There wasn't any pain.
Bishante Kapas.
We'll deal with it later.
Come on. Let's move.
I'm going to keep lighting a fire in this doorway. If they're going to come for me, they'll have to get damaged as they do it. And I know the Kunari are not fond of my fire. We need to find a way to stop Dragon's Breath, and there are two ways to do that. One is to kill the dragon, and the second is to free it. Now my aim is to try and free it, however you will understand if I'm a bit pressed for either time or health potions. They just ruined me for damage. Come on, one left. And you're down. Let's change up my character abilities again. I need to use Resurgence. It will need to be on there. And for this, and for my own sake. Let's just save here. Animal Handler's Logbook. The first half of this logbook appears to be notes on the care and feeding of animals in a free marcher's lord's manner. After that, it shifts into practice. Phrases in Kunlat later. It begins again with the following. Beast presents chafing around limbs and tail, likely from attempts to use chains while its natural strength remains. Muscles are slack from confinement. Tardathras said she initially tried drugging the beast, but the amount required to keep it sedated changed the quality of its venom, so that it was no longer useful in producing gatlock. She says fire has kept it under control, while the heated panels in a state of comfortable drowsiness. Tardathris is not as good at deception as she thinks she is. She does not like what we are doing to the beast. She calls it Atashi, which means something like great thing, and she repeats saying from the Qun to herself when she extracts venom. I do not disagree with her. I saw enough harm done to innocent beasts at my lord's sneering commands. The beast, the Atashi, deserves better than the pry bars and needles we use upon it each time we drain its venom gland. Tardathris says I may be needed at the Winter Palace. It is likely that some view elves with suspicion, thanks to these attacks by the agent of Fen-Haral. But a human woman may still pass unnoticed among the servants. She says I may be asked to deliver more Gatlock in different containers. She says that it could be dangerous, and that if I do not return, most will assume I am dead. As I said, Tardathris is not as good at deception as she thinks. But she is right. I did not join the Qun for this. Interesting. Attempt at number 2.
The Canary obviously need the dragon's venom. No dragon, no more plan.
She's scared. She doesn't want to be here. They hurt her.
You need to do that until the device is blocked. There are very few things that can unblock the device. And this dragon is quite annoying. How'd it? God, I've used up all the potions already. Oh god, here they are. This fire will move it.
Barriers are set. Now we just need to open the gate.
Now we must act fast. Oh god, there are 2 doors to open. They are time sensitive.
She's free. She's leaving.
I'm dying. Leave quicker.
Hashara! Dear Inquisitor, you have such little time left. You must finally see the truth. Elven magic already tore the sky apart. If the agents of Fen-Haral are not stopped, you will shatter the world as well.
And Dragon's Breath is no better.
Whatever you think I've done, mass assassination isn't a good moral high ground.
The South was poisoned by these elves' manipulations. It suffers just as you do now. You would have died from the mark on your hand, but for the help of one of their chief agents. The same agent who helped seal the breach, who led you to Skyhold, who gave Corypheus the orb, then founded the Inquisition. Soulless, agent of Fen-Haral.
So Solus betrayed us as well.
Solus is an agent of Fen-Haral.
Did you not know? We thought you were his ally. Solus tricked us all. He pushed a dying Qunari into the Winter Palace to lure you into opposing us. Without him, we could have brought the South peace and wisdom along the gentle path. Now we must take the way of blades. Panaheda, Inquisitor. If it is any consolation, Solus will not outlive you.
We need to save the elf. Plain and simple. We need an explanation.
Whatever else, Solus was one of us. I won't leave him for Vidisala.
Hopefully not. I've brought Cassandra with us now since I had the opportunity to bring a fourth once more.
It's Garza! Everyone back!
The anchor now builds up power even faster. Using it is difficult, but discharges all accumulated focus. If the focus reaches full power, the anchor discharges uncontrollably, damaging you and your allies, as well as nearby enemies.
If it keeps up like this, it will kill you. Solus must help as he did at Haven.
Solus doesn't want to hurt people. He isn't that kind of wolf. The Qunari don't see.
That must be where Solus is.
You've picked a bad time to come here. I do need to keep an eye on it. It was easier on the... God, Cole is down already. It was easier on the PC. Keeping an eye on this focus bar was always there. For me on my interface. But... here, when I'm not in combat, it disappears. So it's hard to know when it's reached full. But even still, we can't let the Vidisala get to Solus.
Far from her, or it hurts him.
If at the very least I can keep using Resurgence. Oh, Jesus. Nope, nope, nope. You can see the Vidisala issuing commands from above. Or is that just two spear? I think that's just two spearmen, actually. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Resurge. Do something with the focus. There you go. Cassandra and Cole have reached the top already. Oh god, get over the rubble. Really? Push on. For the rest, just comes a constant onslaught of Kunari. The Vidisalo is throwing everything we have in throwing everything she has in two directions, both at Solus and at us. How long can she keep up a fight on two fronts? Solus must be up there.
He's coming to stop us.
The big dude, Sarath, was the one who went mad with lyrium's sickness, if you remember. That looked like it. Wow. Whoa. That looked like it hurt. The Cerebas has one hell of a barrier.
Be ready. They have reinforcements.
Make no doubt the Cerebas is perhaps the toughest challenge you will face. Or at least Sarath is. This isn't like fighting a dragon. This could be 10 times worse than fighting Hakon. I need to be in that bubble. Okay, now with all 4 of us up, it shouldn't be that difficult. But this barrier is very annoying to get through. Okay, so we've ticked over 2 points of focus. Where did he... Oh!
It seems the Cerebas is no longer following orders.
You will not
So for a brief respite, the Cerebas, the Sarath, does retreat. But he will be back. Are we done here? There he is. I don't want to use that just yet. But we've seen what happens when I do tick over. It does knock me back quite a bit. Oh. Make no mistake, it is useful, but painful. There are many Illuvians around us, but they don't serve much in the way of just transporting you around the arena. They don't lead to anywhere interesting, so won't be using them.
Quick, we're almost there.
Damn it, they all ran away from me. Oh, God. I don't think I ever ran into so many enemies. My frame rate is not liking it one bit. Damn it. Obviously trying to retreat. How many more have we got? Just the one?
Let us finish this.
You are dead, Inquisitor! Your soul is dust!
As she retreats into the last Illuvian. So comes a fully healed Sarath. This is the battle. Your final boss. Oh. Landing in fire, not good. Even here, the power of the Cerebus is starting to attract demons. He has very powerful AoE attacks, so be mindful. It's very tough to fight the Cerebus as well as fighting demons. I love the soundtrack at this point, so I am being silent for both dramatic and audio purposes. The Seraph does not have much longer. It is so very powerful. That is the end of Sarath, most powerful of the Cerebus. Wait, who's down? Who's down? Who's down? I can't pick Dorian up. Well, he's not dead. At least I don't think he is. Cassandra will look after him, but I must get to Solus.
Ebesit kata, etwa ost.
Maraskata!
Your forces have failed. Leave now and tell the Canary to trouble me no further.
Solus.
That should give us more time. I suspect you have questions.
I came to find you.
The Canary were trying to kill you. I wanted to get here first.
I know. They sought an agent of Fanharel. I am no one's agent but my own. I fear that the truth is much simpler and much worse than the Canary believe.
You're Fanharel.
I was Solus first. Fanharel came later. An insult I took as a badge of pride. The Dread Wolf inspired hope in my friends, and fear in my enemies. Not unlike Inquisitor, I suppose. You also know the burden of a title that all but replaces your name.
You are like Mythal, then.
Are you a fragment of what Fanharel once was? Like Mythal?
No. This is all I have ever been.
And the legends?
I sought to set my people free from slavery to would-be gods. I broke the chains of all who wished to join me. The false gods called me Fanharel, and when they finally went too far, I formed the Veil and banished them forever. Thus I freed the Elven people, and in so doing, destroyed their world.
The Elven gods aren't dead?
You banished the false gods? You didn't kill them?
You met Mythal, did you not? The first of my people do not die so easily. The Evenuris are banished forever, paying the ultimate price for their misdeeds.
How did they become gods?
The Evenuris were elven mages? How did they come to be remembered as gods?
Slowly. It started with a war. War breeds fear. Fear breeds a desire for simplicity. Good and evil, right and wrong, chains of command. After the war ended, generals became respected elders, then kings, finally gods. The Evenuris.
How did the gods go too far, Solus?
You said that the elven gods went too far. What did they do that made you move against them?
They killed Mythal. Crime for which an eternity of torment is the only fitting punishment.
I thought Mythal was one of the Evenuris.
She was the best of them. She cared for her people. She protected them. She was a voice of reason. And in their lust for power, they killed her.
Why did you form the Veil?
You love the Fade. Why would you create the Veil to hide it all away?
Because every alternative was worse.
Meaning?
Had I not created the Veil, the Evenuris would have destroyed the entire world.
But the Veil destroyed the world.
How did creating the Veil destroy the world?
You saw the remains of Via de Thara. The library was intrinsically tied to the Fade, and the Veil destroyed it. There were countless other marvels, all dependent on the presence of the Fade, all destroyed. The elven legends of immortality, all true. It was not the arrival of humans that caused them to begin aging. It was me. The Veil took everything from the elves, even themselves.
So what happens next?
That's the past. What about the future?
I lay in dark and dreaming sleep while countless wars and ages passed. I woke still weak a year before I joined you. My people fell for what I did to strike the Evenuris down. But still, some hope remains for restoration. I will save the elven people, even if it means this world must die.
You would destroy this world? To rebuild what you destroyed a millennia ago? Why is that necessary?
Why does this world have to die for the elves to return?
A good question, but not one I will answer. You have always shown a thoughtfulness I respected. It would be too easy to tell you too much. I am not Corypheus. I take no joy in this. But the return of my people means the end of yours. It is my fight. You should be more concerned about the Inquisition. Your Inquisition. In stopping the Dragon's Breath, you have prevented an invasion by Qunari forces. With luck, they will return their focus to Tevinter. That should give you a few years of relative peace.
And what about the Illuvians?
You control the Illuvians now?
Yes. You remember Briala from Halam Shiral? For a time, she controlled part of the labyrinth. One of my agents was supposed to take it from her, but he did not succeed. I had to override the magic personally. The Qunari stumbled upon this section independently. With them gone, the Illuvians are now mine.
And why should I be concerned?
What's wrong with the Inquisition?
You created a powerful organization, and now it suffers the inevitable fate of such. Betrayal and corruption.
It's not that simple.
Isn't it? Perhaps we should ask your friend, the Iron Bull. Tell me, where is he? Do you know how I discovered the Qunari plot? The plot I disrupted by leading them to your doorstep. The Qunari spies in the Inquisition tripped over my spies in the Inquisition. The Elven Guard who led you to the Qunari body? Who intercepted the servant with the Gatlock barrel? Mine.
And you helped?
Why bother disrupting the Qunari plot if you're going to destroy the world regardless?
You have shown me that there is value in this world, Inquisitor. I take no joy in what I must do. Until that day comes, I would see those recovering from the breach free of the Qun.
Why?
Because I am not a monster. If they must die, I would rather they die in comfort. In any event, it is done.
Then you set us both up.
So you let us do your dirty work.
The mistake was yours to fix, Inquisitor.
And what about the mark?
There's still the matter of the anchor. It's getting worse.
Yes, I'm sorry. We are almost out of time. The mark will eventually kill you. Throwing you here gave me the chance to save you. At least for now.
I can't let you do this.
If I live, I'm coming to stop you.
I know. Take my hand. I'm sorry. Live well, while time remains.
Something must be done, but we cannot lose the Inquisition now. We stand on the brink of war with the Qunari.
Yes, because this Solas provoked them in the first place.
The Inquisition did not cause this threat. We informed the Summit of the danger.
The danger posed by Qunari spies inside your organization.
Without our organization, you would not be alive to complain.
No one has forgotten what you have done. But Corypheus is 2 years dead.
If the Inquisition is to continue, it must do so as a legitimate organization, not a glorified mercenary band.
Inquisitor.
Now comes the final decision. Hastings Trevelyan must decide the future of Blackwall, his friend who's tied to the Inquisition by oath. His friends, Varric, who now has other responsibilities in Freemarch in Kirkwall to rebuild what was destroyed. When we met Inquisitor Ameridan, he wanted his Inquisition to grow into a force for peace. Instead they became the Templars and the Seekers, and they abused their power, using the rights that a person goes through to become a Seeker, allows them to become tranquil. For a time, this was meant to be for but a few seconds. An organization that then used this as punishment, sundering a mage from the Fade, not just for seconds, minutes, days, but forever. If the Inquisition stands and serves Divine Victoria, efforts against Solus will be stronger, but risk corruption. We could still be humbled by Kunari and Elven spies. If the Inquisition disbands, efforts against Solus will be weaker, but more secure. I will not live to see the Inquisition become the same thing that Inquisitor's Ameridan Inquisition became. I will not let history repeat itself. We'll solve this ourselves.
You all know what this is. A writ from Divine Justinia authorizing the formation of the Inquisition. We pledge to close the breach, find those responsible, and restore order, with or without anyone's approval. It wasn't a formally authorized treaty that saved Ferelden's people. It wasn't careful diplomacy that ended your inane civil war. It was never about the organization. It was about people doing what was necessary. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a world to save. Again. Effective immediately. The Inquisition is disbanded.
Alpha Valroyo must be here.
In short order, the Inquisition was disbanded, and some were relieved to see the organization dismantled. Others preferred to remember the Inquisition's good works, and many lives it had saved. Those who had served returned to their former lives, knowing that they had stopped a great evil from destroying the world. and hoping that the peace for which they had fought remained, once the Inquisition was gone. With the Dragon's Breath disrupted, the Qunari retreated back to the north, and the Ben Hasraf disavowed the Vidasala's actions. They assured Divine Victoria with the Inquisition disbanded, they considered their alliance to apply to her and the Chantry. Few knew what debates were waged in Parvolan, but not long after the Exalted Council, the Qunari launched new attacks against Tevinter. Their aggression caught the already unstable Imperium off guard. Tevinter was soon mired in a war many feared could spread across Thedas. Whispers in Valroyo suggested that the Qunari had asked Divine Victoria to assist them. None yet knew her answer. The Exalted Council remained intact, advising Divine Victoria on important matters. Cassandra served for several years. While she often disagreed with Liliana's policies, the former right and left hands of the Divine shared a mutual respect and worked well together. The end of the Inquisition, as it had been sent shockwaves through the College of Enchanters, Madame de Fer ably played on the mage's fears. Her followers united to build a new circle with Vivienne as its Grand Enchanter, in direct competition with the college. What the circle lacked in numbers, they made up for in political connections. Soon they were a force to be reckoned with. The two institutions settled into an uneasy coexistence across the south, vying for power. After the Exalted Council, Liliana devoted herself fully to the Sunburst throne and her dream of reshaping the Chantry. Within a year, she removed restrictions surrounding Chantry priesthood, allowing men and women of all races to be initiated and ordained. This decree was followed swiftly by her decision to return the Canticle of Shartan to the canonical chant, a move that divided Andrastians deeply. A rebellion to renounce her and return the Chantry to its former state arose, beginning first in Orlais, then spreading to other parts of Thedas. As quickly as it began, the rebellion faltered. While most disagreed that the rebellion collapsed due to infighting, some whispered that the Divine herself engineered its failure. The rebellion fractured into a number of separate cells, some of which limped on for several months before disappearing into obscurity. Sarah left the Inquisition with scarcely more ties than when she began, disappearing back into a confusing weave of favours and friends. After seeing the world brought to the brink by arrogance and pride, it was a blessing to return to normal, however strange a normal it might be. With frequent visits to her widow, of course. perhaps most unnerving was Sarah's standing offer to the Divine. When the knobs piss about, with your left hand or right, call on Red Jenny to give them 2 fingers. Varric took up the role of Viscount, and with the help of his friend Hawke, rebuilt Kirkwall's damaged infrastructure. Under his rule, the city-state finally resumed its place as a major trade hub of the Free Marches. He continued to ignore all mail from both the Merchants Guild and the Prince of Starkhaven. It was never clear if the Iron Bull knew he would be forced to turn upon the Inquisition, or if he was lying the entire time. Regardless, after his death, Talvashoff mercenaries across Orlais and Ferelden were looked upon with suspicion. Those who remained in the south found their lives even harder as a result. After the Inquisition disbanded, Cullen retired from active service. He returned to Ferelden, establishing a sanctuary for former Templars, on land Divine Victoria granted to him. With his help, many Templars shed their lyrium addiction, and those whose minds were too far gone spent their last days in comfort. And he promised that, should his friends from the old Inquisition ever need him, his blade would be ready. Dorian returned to Tevinter to take his father's place in the Magisterium. As rumours flew about the Imperium's infighting, Dorian was spoken often as a voice of resistance against corruption. Along with Magister Maeveris Talani, he formed a group called the Lucerni to restore and redeem Tevinter, a fight many thought hopeless. Those fighting by Magister Parvis's side noted that he kept in constant communication with the Inquisition via message crystal. Whether for vital information or for moral support, these talks seemed to give Dorian the strength to continue his fight. Tom Rainier was shown mercy when none was deserved, and set on a path of redemption. This gift, so compassionately given, needed to be shared. Freed of his former obligations to the Inquisition, Rainier travelled Thedas, giving hope to the condemned and the forgotten. In the deepest prisons and pits of Thedas, he found, if not goodness itself, its potential. By showing faith in those who had none, Rainier lifted them up and made them into something better than they were. With the Inquisition disbanded, Josephine made her farewells and returned to Antiva and her family. Thanks to the Inquisitor's help, the Montiliers were once again permitted to trade in Orlais. The next few years were a busy time, as many ships with the Montilier crest were built and set sail again from Antiva's harbours. Soon, Ravani pirate captains with ancient feud against Josephine's ancestors took to the seas, determined to rekindle the rivalry. Apart from Josephine's sister, Yvette nearly eloping with a dashing pirate prince on one occasion, Lady Montilier took the development in stride. The Inquisitor found himself warmly received by Josephine's family, and House Montilier soon became a second home. A place where the Inquisitor could at last find peace for a time, with Josephine happily by his side. Cole returned to the Fade, saying that there was more pain coming, and that he knew where compassion would most be needed. He promised that his friends in the Inquisition would remember him, and that where the hurt was greatest, he would help. After the events at the Winter Palace, elves left the Inquisition under mysterious circumstances, as did elven servants across all Thedas. None could say where they went, but those who believed the Inquisitor's story about Fen'Harel wondered just how large the Dreadwolf's forces were, and what the ancient elven rebel has planned.
My agents have found nothing. With the Illuvians, he could be anywhere.
With the Inquisition officially disbanded, we have no army, no formal alliances.
We have what we truly need.
We will need to be careful.
Solus knows everything about us. Who we are, how we work, our strengths and weaknesses.
Then we find people he doesn't know. We will stop Solus by any means necessary.
And there we go, guys. This is the end of Dragon Age Inquisition for the time being. In time, who knows? For this channel's sake, I assure you, when Dragon Age returns, and hopefully with a story linear to this, maybe Hastings Trevelyan will return in some fashion. Anyway, guys, I thank you all for getting this far, listening to me drone sometimes. That was happening. Anyway, guys, I'm going to take a short break from videos for a time being. Rocket League and Dark Souls may still be in the mix. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and well, eat, drink, and be merry. I'll see you guys on the next one. Soon-ish.